Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. In one place in the Upanishad it is said, Manasa eva idam avaptavyam. The truth has to be recognized through the mind. In another Upanishad it is said, Na tatra chakshur gacchati na manaha. Mind cannot comprehend the truth. See? One way they say, through the mind the truth has to be comprehended. Other way they say the mind cannot comprehend the truth. So are you making fool of us or what? There is no need to make fool of us. We are already, how can we make somebody fool? See friends. Then how do we solve this riddle? See, the topics which come in scriptures, such as the description of a wise man. In the second chapter of Gita, last 18 verses, they talk about the description of a man of steady wisdom. So starting from Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan atmannevatmana tushtaha sita prajnastaduchyate, up to the end of the chapter. Esha brahmi sthiti partha naisham prapi vimuyati sthitvasyamantakaalepi brahma nirvana mruchyati. In these 18 chapters, 4 topics are discussed. First, what is the meaning of meditation for a wise man? Is he struggling in the darkness silently under the pretension of meditation? For us, meditation is the silent collective suffering in the darkness in the presence of the teacher who is also equally suffering. See? Parasparam safarayantaha. Is this meditation? Arjuna asked 4 questions. What is the meaning of meditation for a man of steady wisdom? Steady wisdom is important or meditation is important? Think. You may do meditation, but your meditation is not steady. What is the use of that? It is something like reading the menu and not eating the food. By merely reading the menu, you can never have the satiation of your hunger. So the first question is, what is the meaning of meditation for man of steady wisdom? Then, prabhasheta kim, second question. How this man of wisdom, steady wisdom, responds to the world when the world comes to him? He is not sitting in a cave, going to the Himalayas, all funny things. There was one student who came to me, Swami, I want to go to Himalayas and do meditation in the caves. Because everybody is definitely must have gone through at least once in his lifetime autobiography of a yogi. And then there they said, in that one cave, somewhere near Ranikhet, there was one Mahatma who was sitting. So we also start feeling, I want to do meditation in the cave. See? So this student came and asked me, Swamiji, I want to go there, please bless me. I said, before you go to Himalayas and caves, why don't you try near Bombay? There are many mountains and many caves, and I know some people. So I organized for him. There is one temple in the mountain. That Pujari is known to me. So I told him, such as a student is coming, let him stay in the cave. He said, okay, nobody comes, he can stay there. He went, evening, sunset, Panditji, everybody left for home. Now in that cave, in pitch dark place, Ekameva Dvitiyam Nehana Nasti Kinchana. Nobody, darkness. The sounds of the crickets and all the wild animals, mosquitoes. Okay. No bathroom, no room, no ventilation, no mosquito net. After 1 hour he came down. And then next day he met me. Swamiji, it was terrible. It was only mosquitoes and there is no bathroom, there is no light, I said, you are perfectly right. But then what should I do? I said, I can tell you better option. Where do you stay? You go there. And outside, on your room, put a board, cave, read it and get it. Friends, this is not the spiritual life. Prabhashita Kim. How does he respond to the world? The world will come to us anyway. So the response is given by the Lord. Dukkheshu anudvignamanaha, sukheshu vigataspruhaha. Both the things come to us. The joys come, the sorrows come. When the sorrows come in our life, anudvignamanaha, he doesn't get worked up because of the sorrows. See? Like the daughter-in-law gets worked up when the mother-in-law comes. So she doesn't have to go to a cave. She should stand before the mother-in-law and start saying, Bhagavati Durga Ida. She don't have to go anywhere. Dukkheshu anudvignamanaha. When miseries come, to be miserable or not to be miserable is our choice. Why not we exercise our choice? Those who become miserable because of the miseries, they are very strong egos. The more miserable you are, the more egoistic you are. Less miserable you are, less egoistic you are. God has no ego and therefore Paramananda. How simple it is. But if you are not abnormal, nobody will pay attention. If you straight away walk from here, who will care for you? But while walking, oh God, if what happened, what happened? If you give attention initially, I will not do this. All miserable people are only attention seekers. Nothing else. See, friends. Dukkheshu anudvignamanaha, sukheshu vigataspruhaha. And when the comforts come in our life, we all want to do our spiritual practice in our comfort zone. See, there was one lady who wanted to come to Kailash Manas and she did all the legwork initially. And while the time of going came, she dropped. I said, Mama, why did you drop? Swamiji, I inquired. There are no commodes. Without commode, how can I go? Because she is attached to commode, not to Krishna. See, friends. And therefore, our spirituality is our comfort zone. Little bit things go here and there. We are completely paralyzed. So how do we respond to the world? How the wise man responds to the world? This is the way. Yes, miseries come, they go. They don't stay permanently. Like our class began, have patience, it will be over. You don't have to suffer. Oh God, now the Swamiji has been again started. Brahman, Brahman, Brahman. Head about this Brahman. Have patience. So, this is how the wise man responds to the word. The third thing, Kimasita, what is the foundation of his such firm, steady wisdom? What is the foundation? Yukta asita matparaha. Because he is in tune with me. A person who is in tune with the divine will never go off the beat. You must have seen, there are some people who sing bhajans and they are so perfectly wrong. This tala cannot be taught. You have to have it by birth in your genes. If your DNA doesn't have the tala, you will do exactly wrong time, And I tried once to do exactly wrong time. It is not possible. But these genius asuras, they call us asuras. No sur. Yukta asita matparaha. When you are in tune with the divinity that you are, nothing in this world can disturb us. So this wise man is all the time sitting in his room? No. See, he moves in this world dynamically. Nirmamo nirahankara. But how does he move? He moves everywhere but doesn't hold on to anything. And he has no arrogance of achievement or the regrets of failure. If this is the description of the wise man, now be very attentive. What I told you in the beginning, Upanishad tells, by the mind the truth has to be gained. Second Upanishad says, mind is important to grasp the truth. Now this riddle, how do we solve? We solve this riddle, that these are the characteristic of a wise person. So what do? Now we start playing wise. Start playing. So when there is a misery in life, refuse to be miserable. That is your spiritual practice. When there are comforts, don't expect the same comfort should be repeated again. See? This is what is going from the Bahyatma, the body, to the Antaratma, and from the Antaratma to the Paramatma. This is the spiritual practice. Not taking the mala in the hand and suffering. Om Bhurvusvata Siddharvaranya Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Prachodayata. Om Bhurvusvata Siddharvaranya Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Prachodayata. Om Bhurvusvata Siddharvaranya Bhargo Devasya Dhiyo Prachodayata. And ultimately make the SMS of the mantra. Om Bhurvusvata. Even the God gets confused. Hey yaar, kya keh raha hai? See, friends, that is not the way. And therefore, in this Upanishad also, the wise man is described. The wise man is not described that we have to give a certificate to the wise man. Longer the beard, more the wisdom. It is not for evaluating the wise people. Mic man, there is a hum here. Okay. See, this is it humming. So, here also this topic is given of a wise man. So it is said, Tathaiva Brahma Visreshtaha Sada Brahmaiva Naparaha. Is he sleeping or what? My love, behave like a lover. Okay, thank you. Hang around there before our love starts humming. Tathaiva Brahma Visreshtaha Sada Brahmaiva Naparaha Nashte Gate Yatha Vyoma Vyomaiva Bhavati Swayam. See, in the same manner, Be very, very attentive. In case of the objective experience, knowing is not being. When I know this is a mic, I am not the mic. When I know this is a donkey, I am not the donkey. But when it comes to knowing the truth, knowing is being. It is not remaining separate from the knowledge. See, therefore it is said here, Brahma Visreshtaha Sada Brahmaiva. Knowing is being, and na aparaha. He is no more an objective knower of the reality. And therefore, example is given. Gate nashte yatha vyomo vyomaiva bhavati swayam. When the pot breaks, the pot space, which was earlier also the total space. But why we were calling the total space as a pot space? Because we have given importance to the pot and not to the space. See friends, we sleep together. Before sleeping, we kick, hey, don't come too near me, you are very, very heavy, keep away. And after you sleep, thereafter, all the differences disappear because the pot is broken and the space is merged into one. In the same manner, living in divinity means rising above the body identification. Living in the divinity means rising above the ego identification. And it is so simple, friends. Do we have to break the pot to recognize that the pot space is the total space? We don't have to. See, friends. Therefore, like the pot space merges with the total space, the moment the identification with the pot is given up, in the same manner. When the part of our body, this identification is given up, individual mind merges with the total mind, and the total mind is nothing but the manifestation of the pure consciousness, and therefore consciousness is the reality, mind is merely a manifestation. See friends, therefore tathaivopadhi vilaye brahmaiva brahmavid swayam Kshire kshiram kshire tatha kshiptam tailam taile jalam jale. Another four examples are given. In the same manner, when upadhi vilaye, when the body identification is given up, that very moment, and when the jiva identification is given up, that very moment, brahmaiva brahmavit swayam, the knower of the Brahman is Brahman. See the difference. The knower of the flower is not a flower. The knower of a donkey is not a donkey. But the knower of the Brahman cannot remain apart from it because their knowing is being. Example is given just like kshiram kshire, then tailam taile and jalam jale. When you have two pots of milk and you pour milk from one pot to another pot with the milk, you cannot differentiate between the two milks. Or the oil is poured in another oil pot, you cannot differentiate. In the same manner, this wise man is merged with the totality. Be attentive. Spiritual practice is not becoming someone special, discarding all the specialities. Today we are like the icebergs, 1/3 above, 2/3 below. And what is iceberg? Nothing but oceanic waters. Iceberg doesn't support life. The waters support. Ego doesn't support spiritual practice. We have to dissolve this iceberg into the waters. Iceberg creates a special status. The water is commoner than the commonest. Therefore, friends, again and again, we have to be extremely alert. Are we feeling insulted? Are we expecting some special status? Do we consider ourselves to be holier than thou? Do we have the two sets of teeth, one for showing and one for chewing? Observe, observe. And thus when we start living as we are, you know, one of the biggest problems every seeker has is this. One day, one German lady asked me this question. Swami, how can I be like you? I want to be like you. So I told her, sorry Mama, you cannot be like me. But why? I said, because you don't have beard. The depth of wisdom is directly proportionate to the length of the beard. Longer the beard, more the wisdom. Shorter the beard, lesser the wisdom. No beard. So I am very sorry, you just cannot be. Please tell me really how I can be. So I said, Mama, if you look into your life, what you have been doing is, you are struggling to prove something to somebody. Alas, you don't know what you want to prove and to whom. Who is looking at you? But we have this notion, we want to prove something to somebody and we don't know what we want to prove. Be yourself. You do anything in this world, there will be comments. And the more comments are on you, you are nearer to the God, because there are maximum comments on God. Don't get carried away by the world. Be yourself. See, friends, in this manner, when we start living 24/7, then spiritual unfoldment happens. When things happen, there is no I born. In other way around, when I is there, things don't happen. When I want to sleep, I is there, sleep will not happen. But when the sleep happens, I disappears. So what we are doing? I want to do meditation. Pillow here, pillow there, pillow under. It's not going to help. Be yourself, effortless. We don't have to evaluate, we don't have to prove, we don't have to change the world. The world is most beautiful. See? Adhyatma means focusing your attention on your own self. Whether we are the body, Bahyatma, or we are the soul, Antaratma, or we are the Paramatma, who alone is expressing in and through the total creation. Shri Krishna, therefore, Sayuktam Ekadam Yati Tathatmanyatma Vinmunihi Evam Videha Kaivalyam Sanmatratvam Akanditam. So, Munihi, this contemplative master. See the difference between yoga and Vedanta. In yoga, they say Chitta Vritti Nirodha Yoga. They are against the thoughts. Why should we be against thoughts? See, thoughts are not bad, not good. We have to transcend the thoughts. If there are no thoughts, we cannot live in this world. To live in this world, we require thoughts. Can we go to the doctor and say, oh doctor, I open my eyes and I see everything very good? It's the problem or what? If we don't see, then it is a problem. If our ears cannot hear, then it is a problem. In the same manner, if there are no thoughts in the mind, then there is a problem. Then we are in depression. What happened? Shambhavi Mudra. That is not realization. See? Have you seen any picture of Bhagwan Shankaracharya on the road? No. It's brilliant, bright, dynamically moving in the world. That is living in the truth. See, friends. Therefore, Munihi, the contemplative master, Sayuktam ekadam yati tatha atmane atmavid muni. Now, this wise man has discovered that earlier I was expressing as the body. Now I have discovered I am expressing through the body. Earlier I was expressing as the mind. Now I live through the mind. And therefore the limitations and modifications of the body and the mind and their relationship has nothing to do with me. Living in this knowledge 24/7 is not an imagination. All great masters have lived like that. It is possible for every one of us. It is not for the select few. No. For every one of us. So what is the spiritual practice? Start playing as if you are wise. Start playing. Suppose miseries come. Remind, hey, I am wise. Miseries come. How are you? I am painfully happy. Your ego will not be born. Try this. So you don't have to do any special practice. You don't have to go to the Himalayas for doing tapasya. What is tapasya? Invited problems is called as tapasya. So you don't have to do. In your house you get lot of tapasya. In spite of your wife, continue to be happy. You are the highest tapasvi. See, friends, you don't have to do anything. She will provide you all the opportunities, constantly nagging. When I talk to you, you never listen to me. You continue to be like Bhole Baba. Oh no, and then fix one gadget which I had developed. That is available in my books. The gadget is, there was one husband and wife. One day the wife said, Swamiji, I don't know what you did to him. I said, what happened? He is not the same earlier. Earlier he used to argue and talk and discuss, and now he just keeps quite okay. Our whole charm of life has gone. What did he do? I said, I didn't do anything. No, you must have done something. I said, you ask him. Then he said, Swamiji has given me one gadget to fix to my ears. What is that gadget? Selective hearing. What is useful, that much you hear. Rest of the thing will not charge. Live with this wisdom in this world, you will be happy. See? Otherwise your wife calls you dumb and you take it seriously, don't take. Because if she calls you dumb, you are really, because or else can you marry that girl? So help yourself and get out of this commotion of life. Don't make spirituality as if you have taken a handful of caterpillars and what happened? Meditation. See, that is not spiritual life. Only joy must be expressed in and through every experience. Sayuktam ekadam yati tatha atmane atmavid muni. Now he is no more living as the body, but living through the body. No more living as the soul or the mind, but living through the mind as the pure consciousness. That is what the wise man is. Evam, in this manner, videha kaivalyam sanmatratvam akhanditam. And then his experience is unbroken, continuous experience of divine presence. It is not an attack of meditation. Sometimes meditation, rest of the time frustration. No. There is no way that a wise man ever goes in depression. See? One of the simplest spiritual practices is this: remain cheerful and happy. Don't worry about meditation. Remain cheerful. And that is the bottom line. Otherwise, Swamiji, whenever I sit for meditation, no, there are very dirty thoughts coming. What is the reason? Meditation. Do you also get the dirty thoughts when you sit for meditation? I don't sit for meditation. No, you must be sitting for meditation. I said, I don't sit, Mama. I tell you, promise you. But then I saw you sitting. I said, you saw me sitting, not for meditation. Be attentive. Never have that notion that you are sitting for meditation. Instead, keep Krishna in front of you and say to yourself, I am sitting in the lap of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Like before the sun, the candlelight is insignificant. You sit as a devotee to the Lord. That arrogant meditator will disappear. Effortlessness will prevail. There is no effort required because you are already care of. On the contrary, we are constantly struggling. I want to do meditation and reach where? I don't know. See, friends, therefore, here, Brahma Bhavam Prapaddesha Yatina Vartate Punaha Sadatmakatva Vijnana Dagdha Vidyadi Vashvanaha. So, this Yati, this wise man, once he has come to realize this truth that he is, thereafter, na avartate punaha. For him, there is no coming back and going back. Now, take one simple example. We all have learned either swimming or riding a bicycle. Now, tell me, do we learn swimming by mind? How do we learn swimming? We don't learn by mind. And therefore, once we learn swimming, we never forget. If you have learned swimming 70 years before and don't touch the water, and after 70 years you jump into the water, your swimming will not be forgotten because you have not learned it by mind. Exactly the same way. Like we learn swimming only once in life, in the same manner, we come to recognize our own self only once. There is no forgetfulness ever possible. Forgetfulness happens when it is at the level of the mind. See, suppose you have learned chanting Bhagavad Gita. Dharma kshetre kuru kshetre samavita sa mavaga pandava chaiva kim kurudasan jayasan jevacha drushtad pandavanikam gandurudarasan. And then you don't chant for 1 year. After that, Yudhishthira Vacha. But there is no Yudhishthira in Bhagavad Gita. Then who is the first fellow? Dhritarashtra Vacha, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. No, Dhritarashtra didn't say this thing. Who said this thing? All confusion. Because it was through the mind. See, friends, As long as we are functioning through the mind, struggle and efforts are bound to be. So here the teacher says, Brahma Bhava Prapaddesha Yati na avartate punaha. For him there is no coming back and going back. Sadatmakatva vijnana dagdha vidyani varshvanaha. Because he has come to discover this undeniable presence. Because all the wrong notions are burnt away. First wrong notion, I am husband, wife, brother, sister, mother, father-in-law, etc. Second wrong notion, I am a man, woman, young, old, beautiful, awful. The third wrong notion, I am a soul, I am a jiva. Fourth wrong notion, I want to realize God. Gujaratis don't have God. God. All these wrong notions have to be discarded. And therefore here says, he who is thus established in his essential self, his all wrong notions are burnt away. The word uses Vijnana Dagdha. Dagdha means burnt away. And burnt away by what? By the experience of the Absolute. Vijnana is not knowledge. Vijnana is experience. By this experience of the Absolute, all the relative problems become null and void. See, friends. Therefore, Amushya Brahma Bhutatvat Brahmanaha Kuta Udbhavaha Maya Klupto Bandha Moksho Nastaha Svatmani Vastutaha. So, Amushya Brahma Bhutatvat. Now, this wise man, having merged in the absolute reality, Brahmana Kuta Udbhavaha. Brahman is never created, never born. Be attentive. Just focus on this only. Do we have the experience of our birth? That which does not have the beginning, that which does not have modification, that which does not have an end, and therefore that which cannot be experienced as absent, and therefore cannot be called as even present. See, friends, 13th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Jneyam yattat pravakshami yajñātvamrutam ashnute anadi mat param brahma na tat sat na tat asat uchyate. The truth can neither be called as is or is not, because there is no option. Like, this mobile phone is or is not. Everything in this world is recognized by these two options. Somebody is, somebody is not. But when we cannot be recognized as never as is not, then how can you call it as is? And therefore, the truth is beyond the scope of relativity. So, Brahma Bhutatvat Kuta Brahmana Udbhavaha. How there can be any birth of this Brahman, and therefore, then what is the bondage and the liberation? These are only projections of the mind. We only imagine that I am miserable, and we only imagine I am happy. It has no meaning. See, in the second chapter, Bhagavan gives this first instruction to Arjuna. Matra sparshastu kaunteya शीतोष्ण सुख दुखदा आगमा अपायिना अनित्यान तान तिदिक्षस्व भारत. Hey Arjun, please recognize any experience, be it good or bad, whether it is giving you joy or sorrows, if that experience is gathered through the sense organs and the mind, that experience has got a common autobiography. It begins in time, it remains for some time, it ends after some time, and therefore it is temporary. Because of these temporary experiences, to become permanently miserable is a height of foolishness. Then what to do? Tan titikshasva bharata. Arjun, come to endure what cannot be cured. as we live with diabetes. Diabetes is never cured. Similarly, live with your people. Live with your mother-in-law. Understand, you are having a diabetes. Then who is the mother-in-law? She is sugar. So, take now and then shots of insulin and continue. You have to manage. What cannot be cured should not be endured, friends. What cannot be cured should be enjoyed, not endured. Converting the endurance into enjoyment is the spiritual practice. No complaints. Therefore, Maya Klupto Bandha Moksho, these are all our mental projections. And Nastaha Swatmani Vastutaha. And neither the bondage nor the liberation has any place in the absolute reality. Yatha Rajo Nishkriyayam Sarpa Bhasa Vidirgamo Avrutte Sadasattvabhyam Vaktavye Bandha Mokshane. Like the dead rope on which the snake appears to be live and poisonous, but actually it is not. It is only the projection of the mind. In the same manner, I am miserable is the projection. I am happy is another projection. In Panchadashi, this thought comes. There was one person, he was told by some mischief creator, hey, I heard that your son met with a terrible accident in US. Immediately this father is miserable. Oh God, I don't know. I told him never not to drive. And he phones him to his son. And the son scolds father. Dad, how many times I told you it may be day for you, but now it is 12 o'clock at night. In US, you always trouble me. Bang. And the father is happy. He is alive. See, friends, earlier there was a message that the son met with an accident, miserable. Now he is happy. Where is misery and happy? It's only at the level of the mind. See, friends, unless we come to recognize this is all the play of mind, that which is not included in the mind does not exist for us. One example I'll give you. It happened somewhere in India, like you are sitting and there is a stair that side. So one sweet girl came and she walked up. So others said, what she is going to do? I don't care who comes and goes, how does it matter for me? So she came nearer and said, Swamiji, on your beard there is a spider. Shall I remove? I said, remove only the spider, not the beard, okay? And then she put 1 tissue paper and got hold of and went and then threw it. Now, that spider was on my beard. It was not known to me. Therefore, it didn't exist for me. The other girl saw that and she told, then it started existing for me. Therefore, joy and sorrows, they are only in the mind, they are nowhere. Bandha moksho nastaha swatmani vastutaha. In the absolute, there is neither bondage nor liberation. Yatha rajyo nishkriyayam sarva bhasa vidargano avrutte sadasattvabhyam vaktavye bandhamoshane. Therefore, liberation is nothing but non-recognition of the self is bondage and recognition of the self is liberation. It is not done. If the truth is revealed because of your efforts and if it is created because of the action, it is an illusion. Truth is not created. It is. And therefore has to be only recognized. Therefore the word used is self-discovery. Discovery means what? It was already there, but it was covered by some coverage. Like, sometime I tell, please go to my table and get the audio recording gadget. Now that person goes, Swami, it is not there. said, come on man, it is there. I just now kept, no, it is not there. Then I had to get up and show. See, this is the one I didn't know. It was there. It is not created. But it was covered by the ignorance. He did not know what that gadget is. In the same manner, Paramatma is covered by Jivatma and gross body Atma. So what is to be done? Only undoing. First, disidentify from the gross body. Second, dissolve the Jiva Bhava and come to discover you are that. Therefore, friends, spiritual practice is extremely simple. Don't make it complicated. Na vrittir brahmana kachit anya bhavadana astiti pratyayo yascha nastiti vastuni. There is none which can cover or conceal the absolute truth. Because there is nothing else than it. Then where from these bondage and liberation has come? It is only because of our own imagination. See friends, bondage something can cover something if there are two. How there are two? Be attentive. If I say this way, the ocean is covered by the waves and the waters are covered by the ocean. Be attentive. We are looking at the ocean, at the water, and we call it ocean. We are looking at the water and we call it as waves. So when we are playing with the waves, we are playing with the waters. And when we jump into the ocean, we have jumped into the water. So what we have done? To the same water, we have given two names, two abuses. One abuse is the ocean and the second abuse is the waves. And further we go, ocean becomes the cause and waves become the effect. So on the absolute water, cause and effect are superimposed, they are nowhere. See friends, in the same manner, on one absolute reality, objectivity is superimposed, called as the world. Subjectivity is superimposed, called as the soul or the jiva. And parokshatva, distance is superimposed and called as the creator, the God. But on one absolute reality, when these three conditionings are removed, the truth alone remains. Therefore, it is like it is said, na karmana na prajaya dhanena tyage naike amrutatva manashu. Now what we have to reject? We can reject that which is ours. Now what is in this world ours? Nothing? No, there is one thing. What is that? Solid foolishness. It is ours. We have to reject this foolishness. And what is the foolishness? Wrong notions about ourselves. Wrong notions about the world. Wrong notion about the God. And wrong notions about the spiritual practice. Give up these wrong notions. The truth will be revealed. So astiti pratyayo yascha nastiti vastuni. Therefore, the presence and absence is possible only when the experience is objective. In the subjective experience, there is no absence experience ever possible. Therefore, to call even presence is wrong. It is beyond asti nasti, beyond is and is not. Therefore, buddhireva gunaveto nato nityasya vastunaha atasto mayaya klupto bandha moksho na chatmani. So, is and is not, these are only the projection of the mind. And therefore, all the bondage and liberation is only in the maya, in the mind, and no nityasya vastunaha, and never in the absolute reality. And therefore, there is one very beautiful writing by a great saint. He writes, by the grace of my Guru, I have crossed the Bhavanadi, the river of samsara, And after having crossed this river of Bhavanadi, the Samsara river, I wanted to thank my Guru and see the river which I have crossed. And I looked behind. There was neither the Guru nor the river. I was where I was. See, friends, it is not a journey in time. It is not a travel in space. It is just being yourself. We can ask question. Where is earth? Where is water? Where is fire? Where is air? Do we ever ask a question? Where is space? Everything is in space. When we say where is God, we imagine God is an object like the other things in this space. See, friends, the subjective depth as you attain, all the foolish questions disappear. Nishkale nishkriye shante niravadde niranjane advidiye pare tattve vyomavad kalpana kutaha. The non-dual absolute ultimate reality, like the space, is without any aspects, activity, impurity, sins, etc. Peaceful. Where is the place for imagination of creation in this relativity, in this reality? See, friends, in this absolute, which only our imagination, Vyomavad, over imagining, God created this world, and after having created, then He created the trees, and among them there was an apple tree, and there was a fruit, and they said, hey, don't eat that, but he ate, and after he ate the fruit, his teeth became very bad, then he has to go to the dentist, and the dentist said, Ram, 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 baby stories. See, it is so clear. Therefore, the ultimate knowledge according to our Upanishad is na nirodho na cha utpatti, na baddho na cha sadhakaha, na muktaha na mumukshurvai, ittesha paramarthata. This is the ultimate reality. What is that? Na nirodho na cha utpatti. Never ever anything is ever created, nor anything is ever destroyed. Now tell me, will we say the waves are born? Will we say the waves died? Waves merely appear and disappear. When waves are born, be attentive. When there are more waves on the surface of the sea, is it a burden for the sea? And when all the waves are quietened, is it a lightness for the sea? Come to discover this truth. Because waves and sea, these are two words, but both of them mean only water. See, friends, therefore, nothing is ever created and nothing is ever destroyed. According to the law of physics, energy cannot be created and matter cannot be destroyed. Energy can be transformed from one form of energy to another form of energy, cannot be created. Similarly, matter cannot be destroyed. And this is how this Purusha Prakriti game is incessantly going on. Can anybody say what was the first, when the first wave was created? Once I was in the US, and one person who was a professor of physics, he was driving me from one place to another place for a lecture. So in the car, I was the only victim for him. And then to protect myself from the questions, I start music. Therefore, my phone may not contain anything, but music is there, plenty. So पुराने फिल्मों का संगीत, मेरे पिया गए रंगून किया है वहाँ से टेलीफोन तुम्हारी याद सताती है. That protects me from the people. Therefore, I like all the movies. So I start. And yet, he being a professor, he got hold of. Swamiji, I want to discuss something with you. I said, I don't want to discuss anything. Whatever you say, I agree. You know, the simplest way to disagree is to agree immediately. If you are fighting between husband and wife, try this thing. Before the wife says anything, you say yes. Only say yes, you don't have to do, because she will forget what she said. Be wise. So he was after me and he wanted to ask questions. Swamiji, according to your Upanishad Vedanta, how the world is created and when the world is created? I said, look here, Vedanta doesn't answer foolish questions. When I said like this, he got so angry. Do you mean this is a foolish question? I said, yes, this is a foolish question. Wrong questions cannot be answered. Question is wrong. I said, you tell me, according to your physics, how the world is created. Two theories, Big Bang theory and black hole theory. Show me a hole without an object. See, if you take this paper, to whom it may concern. Now this is a solid paper. Now here I have removed some part. Now it is a hole in the paper. Is hole an object? Hole is an absence of the object. Black hole. Hole in what? See? And black hole theory of creation. There's a hole in your head. And the second thing is Big Bang theory. What is Big Bang? Can there be a bang with only one thing? If you want to bang, you require somebody's cheek. Then there can be a bang. Only by hand you cannot create a bang. And therefore what you talk about your creation is wrong and we don't accept. Then what I said, look here. When you ask a question, when the world is created, what do you imagine first? There was a time when the world was not there. Then only creation is possible. And according to even your science, time is not a straight line. Time is a circle. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Again, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday goes on circle. January, February, March, April, December. Again, January, circle. It is not a straight line. And on a circumference, every point is the beginning and every point is the end. So when you say when the world is created, you are imagining that there was a world before it was created, it was destroyed, then again it is created. This is where we don't accept. See, friends. Therefore Upanishad say, na nirodho na cha utpatti, never there was any creation nor any destruction. When was the mirage water created? On 30th February. When was it created? Because it appears doesn't mean it is. Na nirodho, na cha utpattihi, na baddho, na cha sadhakaha. Nobody is bound and nobody is seeking. We are only eating breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch. Last night being the last supper, it was little more, it has come up to the nose. So I asked one person, hey, what did you eat? I said, I didn't ask whether you ate or not, what did you eat? Now he can't open the mouth because it was filled. Na nirodho na cha utpatti, na baddho na cha sadhakaha, na muktaha, na mumukshurvai. Nobody wants any liberation because you are not in bondage. You are already liberated. See, this is the parting message. You are liberated. Don't suffer in this world. Be happy. Don't be miserable. But then what will happen to misery? Make others miserable. You remain miserable. You don't remain miserable. This is how this Atma Upanishad brings us back to our own being. So discard the Bahyatma, then rise above the Jivatma, and then come to recognize, discover your essential divinity. And divinity expresses only as happiness. Happiness means living at a zero complaint level. Happiness means happy for no reason. If you are happy because your wife is good, what is your contribution? You are happy in spite of your wife when she is a Jwalamukhi, and yet you are happy. Then you are a genius. Come to discover this and be happy. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hare